Welcome to the MSVR Indy Weekend here at Brands Hatch and the first round of the Marangoni Tyres Production BMW 2012 Championship. There are a total of 37 cars on the track today, so we should be in for some fantastic racing. The great thing about Production BMW is that it's an incredibly affordable championship. Therefore, it attracts a lot of novice drivers, and one of them is Lauren Can. Got one race behind you so far. Why Production BMW?
Well, it's busy out there. Constantly got battles going on. There's a lot on the grid, and it's great to gain experience from relay, so that's why we picked this one.
And are you doing the whole series?
Yes. Fingers crossed anyway. It's the first time I was out with them. A bit nerve-wracking, obviously a lot of traffic, never dealt with traffic before. But once I'd done a couple of laps, I was ready to go. It was really good.
And what would be a good result for you today?
Finishing. Obviously because I'm a novice, I want to get all my signatures so I can get the cross off. So my main priority is just going out there, gaining what I can and get my signatures.
It's a full grid for the first race of the 2012 season. 25 cars, which means it is going to be a close race throughout the field.
Certainly will be. No green flag lap. Ben Winrow on pole. Stuart Waite alongside. And away we go. It's a great start from third for Matthew Parks, but it's going to get very squeezed. Also a good start there from Brian Jones towards the back of the pack, as they're all cleanly away. And emerging from Paddock Hill Bend, though, it's Mike Tovey who's burst into the lead. Last year's champion from fourth on the grid leads the pack up to hairpin at Druids for the first time. Everybody cleanly through, but close and competitive as ever in this keenly fought championship. Down from the hairpin on towards Graham Hill Bend, it's Tovey from Winrow, and then a change for third position as Matthew Parks lunges up the inside of Stuart Waite. Through he goes. He's bringing Chris West in the purple car with him as well for company. Three abreast on towards Surtees for the first time. West to the inside. I think though it's going to be Parks who's just going to emerge, as Ben Winrow already right onto the tail of Mike Tovey, both of whom are tin top champions. Then that slight gap back to Matthew Parks, and the rest of the field continuing to stream through. There's Matt Swaffer in car 145 as it's slipstreaming ahoy down the Bradman Straight for the first time of asking. Tovey hugging the inside line. He's making Winrow in the white machine look to the outside. Winrow thinks about jinking back to the inside, but Tovey able to hold his line cleanly through paddock. Winrow has no option but to follow in his wheel tracks as they climb the hill once more. Still that fight going on for third. We've got a bit of a moment a little bit further down the field. It's George Seeley, car 21, who's just had a slide. Nobody hits him, he recovers with loss a couple of places. Through Graham Hill Bend, still towed from Winrow as Matthew Parks makes it through for lead. Then it's Kevin Welsh who's forced his way up into fourth position. There's been a bit of a sort out there, so it's Welsh who's now come through with Harry Goodman and Chris West right on his tail. They jink through as Winrow goes for the lead. The slightest ghost of contact possibly there between Tovey and Winrow, but it pushes Tovey out wide regardless, and Winrow's got the inside line as they accelerate along Bradman Straight through to complete another lap. And Ben Winrow is surely going to go through here and take the lead. They flash across the line, but Tovey keeps his foot in. It's going to be a case of bravery on the brakes here. Tovey to the outside, Winrow to the inside, and Ben Winrow does make the move. He takes the lead. Now can Tovey fight back? He fights the wheel through paddock and has got the run up the inside towards Druids, but no. 2008 Renault Clio champion Ben Winrow shuts the door, takes the inside line through Druids with still Parks homing on his tail. Three of them duking out for the lead and breaking away from the rest of the pack. Through Graham Hill Bend, still Tovey in hot pursuit. He clatters the curbs, takes great care to keep the car on the racing line. As here is the fight for fourth position. It's Harry Goodman in the white car and then Chris West in the bluey purple car. And then the gap back to Tom Ibrahim, who has got a good fight behind him with Matt Swaffer, Dean Spurt, and then the gap back to Jack Gabriel in the sky blue machine as Harry Goodman jinks to the outside on the exit of Clearways, and that's going to enable Chris West up the inside. Here they go side by side along the Bradman Straight, and gaining the place just as West. How close do they come there? You couldn't fit a sheet of paper between them, but Chris West has got fourth position for about 10 metres because Goodman retaliates through Paddock Hill Bend, locks up the tyres. They somehow avoid making contact, whether that was luck in the judgment, and there they go. They're waving hands at each other as they climb up the hill towards Druids. Thoroughly enjoying this scrap as around the outside West continues, and he should make this stick. He goes back into fourth position. 3 swaps of place in 2 corners, This is what production BMW racing is all about. But West gets it sideways. How did he not lose that? And Harry Goodman regains the place. All the while, Tom Ibrahim is leading that group of 4 cars up onto their tail, so we're soon going to have 6 of them fighting out for 4th position. Then we get back to Stephen Carter there in car 72. We've got a spinner, it's Declan Russell in car 16. Cars flashing either side. It's not the end of a BMW that Declan wants to be seeing. It's Kevin Welsh. I think he's had a bit of a moment there. He's on the tail of Ian Turner. That's down in about 20th position. So out of our sight, Kevin Welsh has had a moment, and he looks to recover up through the field. He squeezes past Ian just about, also recovering from a bit of an incident. He's number 4, Stuart Waite. So action aplenty throughout the field. Dean Spur in the white 27 car tries to go around the outside of Matt Swaffer. Is he going to make that stick down into Graham Hill Bend? Yes, he does, just gaining the place. It also brings Jack Gabriel into the mix as well at the back of that train. So it's Chris West, though, in 4th position from Harry Goodman. Then Tom Ibrahim next up in the bright red 42 car, although will we see Dean Spur try and challenge up the inside. I don't think he can quite do it this time through Clearways. He still looks to get into the slipstream along the Bradman Straight. They accelerate through now to complete another lap. The train there is the 15 car of Jack Gabriel. Used to race a bright orange machine. He's now in the slightly less lurid sky blue car for this season, and he's made the move stick around the outside of Matt Swaffer through Paddock Hill Bend. That is brave stuff, and he gains the position. Also swapping places, we've got Dean Spur now up ahead of Tom Ibrahim, so it's all change in this battle for the lower placings in the top 10. Through Graham Hill Bend again, various angles of attack, but they're all safely through. And again, it's Matthew Swaffer who almost gives a little bit of a helping hand there to Jack Gabriel. He can't quite squeeze his way through, and instead Gabriel sets about trying to demote Tom Ibrahim. It's no news now, it's side by side for 4th position. Here they come once more, West to the inside, Goodman to the outside. They squeeze into Paddock Hill Bend. Are they going to make it through? They both missed their apex by a country mile, but Chris West able to hold on to 4th position as we're into the closing stage of the race, and Ben Winrow has just broken away. He's pulled out 10.5 seconds over Mike Tovey since we saw him squeeze through into the lead, and Ben really showing his experience. As we said, he won the Clio Cup in 2008. He was also the Arbath Trofeo champion in 2010, and he's kicking off his 2012 challenge to the Marangoni Tyres Production BMW Championship in association with Quick Quit in fine style. He takes the win from Mike Tovey in 2nd, and Matthew Parks a well-earned 3rd.
Ben, fantastic win. What happened at the start, though?
I'm not quite too sure. It can't get much worse than that, though, can it? So we'll see if we can iron out a few issues for later on today. But now, obviously, we're on a new tyre. Marangoni's supporting us this year, which is a great tyre to race on, but I've never started it before. So, yeah, a little bit less wheel spin would be good, and we'll see if we can improve that.
So that's the first race of the season out of the way on the new Marangoni tyres. Clearly, the drivers have got to play around with the setup a little bit more, so let's get straight into race 2. Race number 2 sees 24 cars on the grid from groups B and C, and this time Stuart Waite finds himself in pole position.
So will good things come to those who are Stuart Waite? He lines up in pole. It's Liam Crilly alongside him, with their Mike Tovey in 3rd and Alan Wildman in 4th. Expect that quartet to be fighting out for the win. The lights are on, out they go, and we're racing for the 2nd time this weekend. It's a pretty equal start from the front row of the grid. The same goes for row 2. All of which means I think Stuart Waite's just going to have to lead in towards Paddock. A great start though from Mike Tovey as he slides up in 2nd, and Alan Wildman goes 3rd. It's Liam Crilly who's been hung out to dry. He drops from 2nd to 4th. So everybody cleanly through Paddock for the first time. Crilly immediately looking to fight back though, as Wildman in the yellow and green car has to go very defensive in towards Druids for the first time. Varying lines of optimism through Druids, but everybody would appear to have kept themselves on the tarmac just about, as the leader's already out of Graham Hill Bend for the first time, and Stuart Waite trying to break away from Mike Tovey in these early stages. Liam Crilly sets about trying to pick a route past Alan Wildman, and that's really where the battle is at the moment. Crilly all over the tail of Wildman as they squeeze through Surtees. Midfield runners make their way through. Got a replay of, unfortunately, a bit of an incident there for Alex Green. So Alex Green keeping it not on the green stuff nor the black stuff into the gravel, but he should recover without too many problems. Mike Tovey, it's a steering lock through Paddock Hill Bend in pursuit of the race leader, as Wildman again defends from Liam Crilly. And they've got Kevin Welsh in the black car who's the next man up, and he has got Christopher Rest as well, right on his tail. Simon Glenn in the 97 car, not too far adrift either. So good battle shaping up for fourth position as West look to the inside of Glenn at Graham Hill Bend. Rev, you look, there's fighting because third and fourth are as close as you like. So the leaders jink through Surtees, and Crilly has possibly got the run here on Wildman as they exit Surtees in towards Clearways. Wildman leaves the car's width and through goes Liam Crilly. He takes third position, clambers onto the first step of the rostrum. Now how much further up towards leaders can you go? They've got about 3 or so seconds advantage over Liam Crilly, so it's a big ask in these equally prepared cars whether you can close that gap down. Here's the Simon Glenn, Christopher West and Harry Goodman battle. So West and Goodman picking up exactly where they left off in race 1, which is running together. And if Simon Glenn saw race 1 from the bank there at Paddock Hill Bend, you might be thinking, I'd rather not have these two on my tail, because it got very close earlier on. It gets very close again into Druids. Harry Goodman launches up the inside and through he goes. He gains the place of Christopher West down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend. Can West find a way back through? Tom Ibrahim as well watching in the red car just behind as they accelerate on. We've got a spin there from Lauren Can. Well, she is looking to get her signatures this weekend. As long as she keeps the engine running, she should recover to finish the race and get that all-important signature on her licence. As this fight for the lower top 10 positions flashes through across the line, the leading duo will appear to be closing up a little bit. Stuart Waite still leads it from Mike Tovey. That gap coming down. Liam Crilly has opened up some clear air between himself and Alan Warman as Simon Glenn goes off into the gravel trap, and he's not getting out of there. He kicks up the dust cloud for the runners behind. Backwards in the deep Paddock Hill Bend gravel, and Simon Glenn realises the game's up. The door opens, driver out, and unfortunately retirement. First race of the season for Simon Glenn. As Mike Tovey challenges Stuart Waite on the run towards Surtees. He's got a good opportunity here. He's got the inside line for the left-hand segment. Through he goes, and he takes the lead away from Stuart Waite. Now, can he get the car stopped in time for Clearways? That's the question, because if he can't, Waite will launch up the inside, and that's certainly what Stuart Waite thinks about doing. Instead, Mike Tovey runs a little bit wide, and Waite's going to try and prize his way back through here. Excellent racing from the pair of them. They give each other racing room. That's very clean from Mike Tovey. He saw that Waite was coming, gave him a car's width, admittedly no more. They run side by side over the line on towards Paddock Hill Bend, and Stuart Waite's got the inside line. He's got the track position. He should hold on to it unless Mike Tovey can get the switch back, which he can't. Yellow flag's out because Simon Glenn's car is being recovered. So instead they go over the strewn gravel track from Glenn's misdemeanour, and Tovey tries it on at Druids. He has a slide, and look at Liam Crilly in third. He's closing up onto these two leaders as well. So as they fight amongst themselves, that is bringing Liam Crilly back into the mix. Tovey gets onto the rear bumper there as Stuart Waite under braking towards Graham Hill Bend. Can he repeat last lap's trick? No is the answer. Stuart Waite covers his line as the Christopher West and Harry Goodman 8-wheel BMW rides up now onto the tail of Kevin Welsh. And Welsh in fifth position. Alan Warman's in fourth. In fifth position, Kevin Welsh has got West and Goodman right on his tail. Now, can Chris West in the blue car do anything about going around the outside? Well, I don't think he can. In the meantime, we're going to have the race win for Stuart Waite, and Liam Crilly has found his way through past Mike Tovey, so it's Waite who wins it. Liam Crilly in second and Mike Tovey in third.
Yeah, ecstatic. I'm like I say, his first championship win. I mean, initially I got a bit of a gap, and but he sort of clawed me in places. But Liam managed to catch on to the back of Mike, which sort of took his attention away from me, which meant I could sort of concentrate on just keeping it smooth and bringing it home.
We've seen two fantastic races, and there's still one more to come in part 2. See you after the break.